When was the last time you had to wait for a long time?
The last time I had to wait for a long time was at the regional passport office last month. It was an unexpected delay, as the online system was down, and the whole process took over 3 hours. It was quite frustrating, but I had no choice but to be patient.
Do you mind waiting?
I don't mind waiting if I have something to keep me occupied, like a book or my phone. However, if I have nothing to do and am just sitting idly, I find it incredibly frustrating. It feels like a waste of time, and I start to get a bit agitated.
What do you do while you are waiting?
When I'm waiting, I usually try to make the most of my time. If it's a short wait, I might check my emails or social media. For longer waits, I prefer to read a book or listen to a podcast. It's my way of turning a dull moment into a productive one.
Why do people often have to wait?
People often have to wait for a variety of reasons. It's a fundamental part of life, whether it's due to high demand for a service, a lack of resources, or simply scheduling conflicts. Waiting is a necessary part of managing and organizing the flow of people and activities in our modern world.
Do you think people are more or less patient now than in the past?
I think people are generally less patient now than in the past. With the rise of technology and instant gratification, we've become accustomed to things happening quickly. This has made us more intolerant of delays, and the simple act of waiting can feel more difficult than it used to. I can vividly recall a time I had to wait in an exceptionally long line, which was during a trip to London a couple of years ago. The location was the British Museum, and it was a particularly busy bank holiday. I had arrived in the morning, full of anticipation, but was immediately met with a queue that snaked around the building and seemed to stretch for an entire block. The sheer number of people waiting was staggering, and it was clear that patience was going to be a requirement for the day. My purpose for joining that immense queue was to gain entry to a special, limited-time exhibition on ancient Egyptian artifacts, which had received rave reviews and was drawing huge crowds. I had heard so much about the rarity of the pieces on display, and knew this might be my only chance to see them. Getting a ticket to the exhibition was my primary goal, as entry was strictly limited and time to manage the flow of visitors inside. As for the duration of the wait, it was far longer than I had initially anticipated. I ended up standing in line for nearly 3.5 hours. The weather was not particularly kind, with a persistent cold drizzle, which added to the challenge. Despite the inclement conditions, the line moved at a snail's pace, and it felt as though we were inching our way forward every 15 minutes. I checked my watch countless times, but the end of the line seemed to remain an elusive fantasy. Initially, I felt quite frustrated and impatient, wondering if it was even worth the effort. However, as time went on, my feelings began to change. I started conversation with a fellow tourist from Japan who was standing next to me. We shared stories about our travels, and she even taught me a few basic phrases in her language. This unexpected connection turned a tedious wait into a memorable part of my trip. It made me realize that sometimes the experience of waiting can be a chance to connect with people and observe the world around you. When I finally reached the entrance and held a ticket in my hand, I felt a sense of relief and accomplishment, and the sight of the magnificent artifacts inside made the long wait feel entirely worthwhile.
Do you think technology has made people more or less patient?
Technology has arguably made people less patient. With the advent of instant communication and on-demand services, we've grown accustomed to getting what we want almost immediately. This has created a low tolerance for delays. For example, a slow-loading website or a delayed text message can be a source of significant frustration for many. In the past, people were more accepting of waiting because it was simply a part of life, but now, the expectation of speed is so high that even a few seconds can feel like an eternity. However, in some ways, technology has also improved our ability to wait by providing distractions like social media and mobile games, making long waits more bearable.
In your culture, is it acceptable to be late for appointments?
In my culture, punctuality is generally considered a sign of respect, especially for professional or formal appointments. Being late is often seen as disrespectful to the other person's time. While there might be some flexibility for social gatherings with close friends and family, being on time is still valued. This cultural norm places a high emphasis on planning and adhering to schedules, and people who are consistently late might be perceived as disorganized or unreliable. This strictness about timeliness reflects a broader cultural value placed on efficiency and mutual respect.
What can people learn from waiting?
Waiting can be a valuable opportunity for personal development. It teaches us patience and can help us appreciate the value of time. When we are forced to wait, we have a chance to slow down, reflect, and practice mindfulness. Instead of seeing it as wasted time, we can use it to observe our surroundings or engage in quiet contemplation. Waiting also teaches us to manage our expectations and to be more adaptable when things don't go according to plan. This ability to handle delays gracefully is a crucial life skill that helps us cope with stress and uncertainty.
Do you think businesses should do more to reduce waiting times for their customers?
Businesses should certainly strive to reduce waiting times for their customers. Long waits can lead to customer dissatisfaction, loss of business, and damage to a company's reputation. Implementing efficient systems, such as appointment booking apps or automated check-ins, can significantly improve the customer experience. From an economic perspective, time is a valuable commodity, and long waits can be seen as a cost to the customer. By optimizing their processes, businesses can not only enhance customer loyalty, but also increase their own productivity and profitability, demonstrating that efficient service is a smart business strategy.
In the future, will we have to wait less for things?
In the future, it is likely that we will have to wait less for many things, thanks to technological advancements like artificial intelligence, automation, and faster communication networks. For example, AI can streamline processes in healthcare and finance, while automated systems can reduce manufacturing and delivery times. However, certain things will still require waiting. For instance, waiting for human interaction in healthcare or for a handmade product will probably remain. Additionally, with a growing global population, queues for certain services or resources may even become longer. So, while technology will eliminate many forms of waiting, it won't be a universal solution.